Hello, everybody. Welcome to our very first installment, whatever you may want to call it, of our Java tutorial. And we're just going to dive right into it. I'm going to show you how to make the very basic Hello World program, although, of course, because we are knights in shining armor, we don't say hello, we say huzzah. So it's going to be slightly different, slightly unique, and that will make us feel really cool and awesome. So I'm Sir Codelot, and I'm going to go ahead and help you out with hopefully learning Java. And I'm hoping that I learn some stuff along the way. You learn as you teach, as they say. So I'm just going to dive right into it. I'm going to assume that you already have Java downloaded onto your computer, and I'm just inside of a text editor called NetBeans. I know it's not necessarily the most popular type of text editor, but really whatever text editor you wish. I'm sorry, not text editor, IDE. Whatever IDE that you want to use, have at it, as they say. So I'm just gonna use NetBeans. It's the first one I've ever used way back when I started. I've toyed around with a few other ones, but this is just a comfort sort of a thing. It's the very first one that I used. So again, if you don't have Java downloaded on your computer, you can find that on Oracle. You can just do a simple Google search and then download it based upon whatever machine, whether it's Mac, Linux, or Windows. I personally have Windows, but whatever operating system you have, you just download Java for that. So just going to get right into it. So right now we have our public class Circodelot. And just an important rule whenever it comes to Java files in general, making Java programs, the name of your Java file has to match the name of the class that you're going to be operating in. So just as much as like you have a text file or let's say a Word document and you'll name it, whatever you want to name it, and then the end of the save file has a .doc if it's like a Word document or a PDF. That's just a way for the computer to know exactly what type of file it's about to ingest and maybe also show you. So with Java, it's the same idea, and lots of all different coding languages, they all have their own little conventions at the end, at the very end of how to, what words to say. So Java files, it just says .java, so that way you can actually see it on your computer. So when you name your file, it's going to be whatever you want to name it, .java, and then that has to, that name also has to be the name of your class that you're going to be running all your code in. What is a class? I would think of it, best way to describe it is that it is essentially kind of like an arena in which all your code is operating in. Not all other language, not other. There are many other languages that do not require you to have this sort of structure. Java, in a way, is kind of the most rigid um, of the languages as far as I've encountered. For example, like Python by no means requires this. JavaScript does not require this. Only Java is very, very particular with the syntax for these sorts of things and has to operate within a class. And we'll get more into, as videos go on, the significances of classes and whatnot. But for now, just for our intents and our purposes, we're just going to know that we have to start our programs and have all our programs run within this class. And the syntax for it is public class. And whenever you want your class to be named, well, it actually has to reflect your Java file name, and then a curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket is where all of the magic happens, where all the code. So you don't necessarily have to start off this way, and we'll get to constructors and making objects. There's just so much fun stuff down the road. But for our intents and purposes, just because we want to print Huzzah world, we want to let the world know that we are here. So we're going to first make a method. And also, as far as just for the purpose of the video, just focus on the syntax right now. There are specific reasons for all these words. It just requires a little bit of explanation, and we will get there. So the syntax is as follows. You write public, static, void, and then the name. It has to be named. So for your first method within, if you're going to be running code, the way that the Java compiler knows where to start from. So it has to be all running through a main method. So public static void main, and then parentheses, string, and then brackets, and args, which stands for arguments. And again, sounds like a really weird sort of like syntax, but we will get there. Have faith. So this is the method, and the method is going to be the thing that runs our code. So inside of our method, that's where we can start issuing, for lack of a better term, I guess, commands. And so the command that we want is to say we want the computer to tell us Huzzah world. So for that, write another little funny set of words, and that goes as follows. You write system dot out dot print line, whoops, and then so this is the command of how to yeah, you basically want the computer to you want the program to print something out to you. So after that you make parentheses, then you make quotation marks if you want to pass words, and we will write Huzzah world and exclamation point because we really mean it. And then you do and what's it called, semicolon, and then we're gonna hit this green button over here to run our code, and Shazam, Huzzah world. Now, one more thing that I want to just point out here is that whenever you are finished printing this statement over here, or whatever it is you may want to print, the Java code will automatically also create a next line. And this is important to remember because otherwise you might get into some confusing format issues, and you might be like, wait a second, why are we starting at the next line over here? What do I mean? So, for example, as we see, we already just printed Huzzah world. Now let's say I want to go ahead and print something else. So we'll go ahead and just print something else over here. Print line, and now we'll say egad in all caps. And we'll do our semicolon, and then we're going to hit the play button. And look at that. Huzzah world and egad. So how did it just start out on the next line automatically? We didn't tell it to do that. So that's because this print line method, and that's what this is, automatically tells the program that the next thing that you're going to print start on the next line. So that we print this, and then the Java code goes ahead and will keep in mind that the next time we print something, that goes on the next line. So if you want to just remember that in an easy way, you could just think of first print, then make new line. That's how you can kind of just break up this word over here. Now let's say you don't want to do that. Let's say you want to keep everything on the same line. So there's another method that you can do where you can just write just print. So let's take away these print lines over here. And now it's just print. Then you just run it again and see what happens. Huzzah world, egad. And so that is all that I have for you today on this video. And please please subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. If you don't have a friend to subscribe, go make some friends and tell them to subscribe and like this video, please. Thank you.